Alright. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another Infinity Kingdom guide. This one is going to be a bit of an odd one. It's going to be a Tower of Knowledge passive review of the skill Heavenly Thunder, but we're not going to be running it on any mage, which it is intended for. Instead, we're going to have a look at how to utilize this on physical immortals for quite insane damage outputs. So, did you know that Heavenly Thunder is a magic passive, but that it does perform insanely well on Alexander and other physical immortals? Because I sure didn't until a fellow player made me aware that this works kind of. I don't know if I want to call it broken, but it's definitely not working as intended. But it's pretty fun either way. So let's first things first. Heavenly Thunder, what is it? It's a Tower of Knowledge passive. It's been overlooked ever since we began playing Infinity Kingdom almost 2 years ago. Its description offers magical damage procs on normal attack hits, which never really proved viable to use on our mages, since mages of Norheim have pretty low attack speed and doesn't really benefit from boosting said attack speed. Now, most players like myself has left Heavenly Thunder rightfully where it belongs, on the bench, while we took full advantage of the many strong passives that the Tower of Knowledge has to offer, such as Concentration, Annihilation, Novus, Root. But I just found out that on Alexander and on Barca in high attack speed builds, Heavenly Thunder, despite having no physical damage, actually deals surprisingly high amounts of damage. Moreover, maybe, and perhaps most importantly, Heavenly Thunder deals damage to random enemies, to two random enemies, offering us a rare opportunity to have Alexander frontline deal solid cleave damage to our enemy backlines and not just the other enemy frontline. So how does Heavenly Thunder actually work? When your immortal lands a normal attack, Heavenly Thunder has a 30% chance to deal 150% magical damage rate to two random enemies. This means that the more attack speed we get, the more procs we're getting on Heavenly Thunder, same concept as with passives like Cleave and Combo. What the difference is, on the face of it, it really shouldn't be any significant damage, since Heavenly Thunder is a magic passive and we're trying to use it on physical immortals. But that's where things get messed, because given enough attack speed, it actually does. So how does it perform in combat? I've been running Heavenly Thunder on my Alexander and on my Hannibal Barca lately to test it out and see what kind of damage we're getting on this thing. And I must admit, it's quite a bit more than I expected. We're getting near the same damage as many of the other best physical damage passives overall, skills like Death Breath, Cleave, stuff like that. On rare occasions, I've even seen Heavenly Thunder dealing more damage than Death Breath itself, perhaps the most notorious damage passive of all. While it's true that it can outperform even some of the best physical passives, I'll not go as far as to say that it is actually better. Usually I do see better results from some other passives. Heavenly Thunder usually hits around 10 to 20% of total damage dealt on either Hannibal or Alex, since I'm running both in a Wind Hybrid attack speed build. Which, 10-20% of total damage is very solid, and it's in fact more than Hannibal's ultimate ability, consistently more. Though I do see both Combo and Cleave providing significantly more damage, but the fact that we're damaging enemy backline immortals does add to the value of Heavenly Thunder. So it's kind of a mixed bag. It deals slightly less damage than some alternatives, but it still deals very good damage, and the damage it deals is dealt to backline immortals. So does Heavenly Thunder work on any physical immortal? No. You need to have a physical immortal with high attack speed for this passive to work. That means running it on Alexander the Great is encouraged, and natively, by default, he's kind of the only physical attack immortal it actually makes sense to run it on. That being said, Hannibal Barca in the right build, something like a wind hybrid, get Xeno unique artifact speed boosts along with Quins and Emperor Kin, and you have enough attack speed to make Hannibal Barca a viable subject as well. In addition, you can actually run it on Julius Caesar. There's been some guys doing a meme build where you actually run Julius Caesar as a mage, full concentration, Nova, and Heavenly Thunder. Since he does have abnormally high magical attack attributes, it can work, but I don't recommend using the passive, so running him as that. It's fun, but it's not really viable. And ultimately, you want to run Heavily Thunder either on an Alex or an Hannibal Barca. If you're doing Wind Hybrid, I'd recommend it as a second team. If you're doing Wind Hybrid second team, you want to run Heavenly Thunder because you're running out of physical attack passives. If you're doing it main, then you want to reserve Heavenly Thunder for Earth builds. Like if you're running Alexander in AoE Earth builds with either Genghis Khan or Elizabeth Bathory in the back, well then the damage that, think back to what we said, right? We're dealing slightly less damage than combo, for instance, but we're dealing it to the enemy backlines. So that combined with Genghis Khan or Elizabeth's backline pressure, that turns Alex into even more pressure on enemy backlines, and you're going to be able to drop your enemy's squishy backline immortals quite quickly. Right, so ultimately the overall verdict for me on this passive is that, first of all, it's a lot of fun. It's fun to use something in a way that is definitely not intended. It is not insane, it's not overpowered, it's not insanely useful, but it is, in niche cases, a very, very good choice for passives. Specifically, as I said, running Earth AoE pressure, backline pressure builds works insanely well. That's it for Heavenly Thunder on physical immortals. I recommend everyone to try it. It's a lot of fun. Best of luck. Have fun. See you out there. As always, please do subscribe to the channel. I consistently release new content here on the IK channel and on the official IK Wiki website. Links are in the description. On these channels you can find guides from everything in IK, from events to talents, passives, finished builds, and game mechanics. With that, I'm gonna leave you, and as always, thank you for watching, and see you for the next one.